Hi guys, welcome back to Mike's Carp and Adventures. So today you find me at Bridge Specimen Pool, a lake near Eccleshall. I'm here for 48 hours. Now I actually don't know too much about this particular lake, to be honest. I mean there's a few bits online on the official website, but other than that it just tends to be fish kind of catch reports. So before kind of coming here I didn't really know an awful lot about it, but what basically we're going to do, I'll run through the kind of tactics and the kind of approach for this particular lake. I'll give you a bit of a rundown of what the lake looks like. I'll show you the kind of the pegs and a few kind of things I've picked up on straight away that anyone coming here probably needs to know really, especially on these particular pegs. But before I get into that, guys, I just want to thank Fish Buddy for sponsoring today's video. It's much appreciated. Now you won't be aware, but for the last kind of 2 or 3 months I've been testing out a brand new app for them. It's something that they're going to be releasing to market quite soon, but importantly, guys, you know, they want me to reach out to yourself and my kind of carp fishing community, because they need your support to test out the app before it actually does go live. Now the app basically has things like finding local kind of fisheries and basically local lakes. You can follow the carp anglers on there and see what they're catching, where they're catching. And then you can find local tackle shops, which actually came in quite useful the other week when a certain store didn't have what I needed. So I basically went onto the app, I had a look, and I found a local tackle shop called Dolphin that I haven't been there in years, and you know, they actually had what I wanted, so it was really useful in that scenario. But in the actual description below is the link to the page. Now it gives you a bit more information about the app, and also, you know, the registration page on there. So do give them support. It's very rare you actually get to use an app before it goes live and actually have an impact on that app, so definitely take advantage of that, guys. It's something that, as I said, it's going to come out regardless, so you might as well give your feedback and see what you think can be improved, and you know, what works well as well. So thank you very much, obviously, for the support. And as I say, we'll now go through the tactics, tips, etc. for this particular lake. I'll show you a few things that I've picked up on as soon as I came to the lake, like I mentioned, and hopefully over the next 48 hours we'll have a few fish on the bank. I'll settle for one, but hopefully we'll have 1 or 2 to show you. Okay, so when you first arrive at the lake, you're going to be coming through this particular otter fence right here, which is conveniently for peg 1 is right next to the toilets, which is perfect. Now one thing you're probably going to do is what I did. You basically will, I'll try and turn this around, effectively you're going to come and this is what you're going to be faced with. Now if you're on peg 1 or peg 2, this probably won't come across, but that is an extremely steep slope. So what you're going to want to do is, there's a path that goes down, and then just to the left you can come round and walk straight up here. Don't do what I did on the first couple of runs and take it down a flipping steep bank. I don't know how I actually never fell down, but I got lucky. But either way, yeah, so that's the route you want to go down. Pegs 1, 2 and 3 is where you want to be going, that particular path. So yeah, that just gives you a bit of a snapshot of something that I noticed, and something else that I noticed as well is the actual pegs themselves. So I'll give you a quick look at the pegs, and something to bear in mind if you're coming with your bivvy. Okay, and this is what your peg looks like. So everywhere does it now. It's the traditional hardcore that goes down. Now I'll take you really close. So it is almost complete hardcore. It is rock hard, absolutely rock hard. I tried for a good kind of couple of minutes to try and get this in. Now what you're going to have to you need to bring a mallet with you. If you do plan at all on being able to get pegs in the ground, if you ain't doing it by hand, no matter how hard you try. So yeah, you're going to want to basically get yourself a mallet, knock them into the ground, as I've done on a couple of pegs. And you know, there's a decent amount of space, to be honest with you. And there's my, I need to clean that peg up, but there's a decent amount of space between the two, so nicely laid out. Okay then, guys, so I had to move in order to run through this tactics. It's absolutely scorching out here today. I think it's mid-20s at the minute in time, and it's going to be getting close to 30. But what we're going to do is start off with today's hook link. Now I'll put a few pictures on the screen for you now, but basically it's a gravel bottom. There's little bits of low-lying weed, but there's absolutely nothing compared to what sometimes gets reported on the internet for this place. It really hasn't grown at all by the looks of things. So it's nice, clear bottom in general, and we've gone for a Ronnie rig. Now, some of you would have heard about the Ronnie rig and probably sick of hearing about it, but for those who haven't basically come across this before, the Ronnie rig is basically a pop-up rig. Now, you can use a bottom bait or a wafter, you can do that, but traditionally this is a pop-up rig. So it's quite a stiff boom, so it's about 7.5 inches in total, and there's a bait screw on the end, which I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So there's a bait screw right there. And all you basically need to do in order to get this on, I've got a pink boilie, which is a DNA, I think it's Fruitylicious, I think it's called. Now I'll try and do this for you guys. So as you can see, you basically push a little bit in and you turn, keep twisting. So this is like an alternative. Instead of using, say, bait floss or using a boilie stop and doing it that way, this is a good way of doing it. So effectively, this is what you end up with. Put it against the back of my face, you'll be able to see it a bit more clear. So that's what you end up with. Now, the idea is that the fish will effectively come from the top, and all it's going to see is that. It's not going to see the hook underneath. So it's going to come from the top, and it pulls that up, sucks it in. Now, this is the kind of key part of the Ronnie rig. So you can probably see now this will turn around completely on its axis, which this part here, the loop in the end, is where all the magic happens. So it can run up and down that particular loop, and then it'll spin 360 effectively without any issues at all. So it's a really popular rig. If you haven't done it, then please, go online and have a look, and there's some really good kind of tutorials, really straightforward to actually make this rig. I'm not going to go into it personally because there's enough good tutorials on YouTube as there is. So that's the general hook length for today. We're going to be using a Fruitylicious pop-up on one, and we're going to be using what we call nutters. So it's, as you imagine, it's a more of a darker boilie, but I've got a few different boilies out there, so a few different kind of colours, and it should complement things really quite well. Okay then guys, you're probably sick of seeing my face, so we'll take me out of this one. We're going to be looking at the particle and boilie mix that I've gone for. So you won't be able to see this too clearly, but basically with the particle mix, we've gone for a sweet corn, maize and hemp combination. So that's quite a straightforward carpy mix. And then I've used the quarter cutter, which is really quite a useful tool to chop up some boilies there. So the thinking behind the colours here, so we've got some lighter ones here, which basically will be quite nice for the nutters boilie I've got on there, and then the red tint should hopefully go quite nicely against the pink pop-up we've got on there as well. So whole boilies, chopped boilies, bit of a combination. They'll go all into the bait boat, and then that's what we're using for the entirety of the session. So fingers crossed, that definitely helps.
The music ends, and with it went, still the moments and it lingers on, intoxicates, so unfamiliar, suddenly sparks it off, and they all know, cause they're all watching, us dance into the smoke. But when you're sleeping, I see this honesty. It says you'll quit me, it says you'll go away, and yeah, this feeling, sweet uncertainty.
Guys, so just a quick update. So it's around 5:30 now. It's been quite a few hours since I was last with you on the previous clips, but it's been about 25-26 degrees, no wind whatsoever, so it's been a bit of a brutal weather, so hence the reason for no general updates. As you can see, the kettle is on behind me. It's time for a cup of tea finally, and yeah, just a few updates. So firstly, I was actually out the other week. I didn't film it. I just wanted a bit of a break, and just a chance to relax for a few days. It was a brand new lake, a lake called Cool Acres. I'll put a picture on the screen now, but I did manage to land one carp about an hour before packing up. Everyone else had really struggled, so I was really grateful to get this one out. I pre-baited a spot for quite some time, just ready to come back in the evening time. And luckily, again, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, just one toner all the way. So It was a nice little fish. Now in terms of what's kind of coming up on the channel as well, so I've got an exclusive live stream on YouTube on the 29th of August. Now it's with a very well-known carp angler, a bit of a clue. He's presented at the Northern Angling Show, and also he's there on the kind of the labs and stuff like that, where they show you the rigs, tips, etc. So it's a live Q&A. It's not about me. It's very much about you having the opportunity to ask as many questions as you want to. We've got a 1 hour slot where we can actually run through them. I'm sure it's going to be of interest to anyone who's into carp fishing, whether you're a brand new beginner or whether you're someone who's been fishing for a number of years, really. But anyway, that's enough for now. I will come back to you shortly. I'm going to get a brew, and fingers crossed we'll get some action. I think it's probably likely to be the evening time or the early hours if we do. It's just been too warm today, but fingers crossed, guys. Let's hope for a fish. Well, good morning, guys. So it's 5:30 now. I've been up since I had the first light. No fish in the night, as I'm sure you can imagine, or else you would have seen that. But I had a busy kind of hour or so. Both rods between 3 and 4 o'clock were constant liners. Now, I think, to be honest with you, I may have been a little bit too far out based on that, which clearly means that probably fish were going into the line potentially. Or of course I had a couple of aborted takes, which, as we know from the quarter underwater videos, is quite possible. So I think we'll switch up the colour of the baits. I think I'm going to leave nutters on one, but I think we'll change the pink and go for something a bit different. So yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of this video. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share, much appreciated. I've got, as I say, I've got something coming up in the next couple of weeks I think every carp angler is going to want to be on, so don't miss that. Whatever you do, keep an eye on Instagram, keep an eye on the YouTube channel, which if you're subscribed you will get notified of, and I'll be announcing very soon exactly what that is. Okay then, guys, well that's about it. As you can see behind me, the rubbish and everything's all packed up. Pretty much got to just take the bivvy down and pretty much done. But yeah, I didn't really do much recording second day. I'll be honest with you, the first day was hot and humid, the second day was even worse. We tried a few things. We tried a few kind of zigs as well. We went through to the mainline smart liquid. We used different kind of coloured hook links. I mean, I really did try everything. I think it's just one of them times where it doesn't matter what I did, you know, it just wasn't going to work. So you know what, that's fishing. You know, some people, they record this video and think, didn't catch, I'm not going to put this out. But you know what I'm like, you know, I'll be honest with you, fishing is blanking, it's catching, it's blanking, it's catching. So yeah, thank you everybody for supporting the video. Thank you again to Fish Buddy for sponsoring today's video. And again, guys, if you want to be a beta tester for the new app that's going to be coming on soon from Fish Buddy, just go to fishbuddy.uk and you can take a look at that and get involved. But thank you everyone for your support. I'll be back in a couple of weeks for the live stream, and we've got quite a busy September and October planned as well. So thanks again, take care, see you soon.